Shalom, Labachayarium, Shal Yasha'ala. Peace be to the election of the nation of Israel, consisting of 144,000, Hanabiayim, the prophets, Harashim, the Heats, Eshal Mashal, which is rule in the kingdom of heaven, which shall be established here on earth under the Yahweh Shemel Shai, the Most High. Alright, Humadane. Of course, all to be given on to be committed to his son, and of course us being, Lord willing, joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, and Lord will we be a part of that elect number of prophets, those that are allotted to that lot, that destiny. We would be that government body, alright, whom of course all the Gentile nations will flow to, alright, the other heathen and such, alright, of course with their forces, okay, the goods, which is going to be our goods, alright, because the earth was made for our sake. Shalom to, of course, those that are of that hopefully elect number, and of course giving a shalom to the rest of the 1/3, which are the believers, men, women, and children that believe in this word of Yahweh Shemel Shai, this truth. Of course, only Israelites, salvation is two, okay, and the elect are the best parts, the choicest parts, the best rule, okay, whom the Lord loves very dearly, to grant them salvation and making them exempt from the judgment that's upon us, okay, nuclear destruction ultimately, okay, but also, different judgments of famine and various death by the way of sword. The scriptures talk about 4 sword judgments. By giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Shemel Shai B'Shem Kodesh, then double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who well. Alright, Shemel Mafman is a Mafla from the great millstone plain tables camp located here in the city of Philadelphia. I'm Lamadi Ma'ite, coming with a lesson, little are we lesson. Of course, Yahweh is the true, almighty, and powerful name of the Heavenly Father. If you don't know, you need to know, because the names of Yahweh Shemel Shai, the Heavenly Father, and His only begotten Son, as we're on to, ye men of Israel are going to be saved. You women, of course, of Israel, the daughters of Zion, of course, you being under a hedge of elect man, of course, your reproach being taken away, you being saved through childbearing, all right, faith and belief, okay, which everything starts, of course, in its proper order, okay, the men. So let's just get into it, because 2 parts are going to get cut off and die here in America, 2/3 of the nation of Israel. All right, you don't want to be a part of that lot, so I'm just covering this week article here, which I believe Double 7 did it in brief, originally off of Zero Hedge. Okay, let's just get into what he's going to say. I'm going to play it.
Boo 7, looking here at food prices at restaurants. They seem to have crept up, and a lot of different reasons tied into this. You can first off look at the food prices themselves across the globe and the different markets being affected by everything that's been going on here the past year or so. But on the other side of the coin, we have the lockdowns and the measures that were taken in different areas that have affected these businesses and have made people lose their jobs, as we know. And for those that stayed in business, what they had to do is they had to go to operating like just out of the drive-thru. They had to shut down the dining room, which killed like 75% of their business. So if you think about all this, to survive, they were raising prices in some of these areas to try to cover all the bases where they were missing. Now, they say, according to the data, the prices at limited services restaurants increased 6.2%. Now, by contrast, prices at full service restaurants increased 2.9%. So the areas that were disabled, so to speak, that could not have people come into the dining room, these were the areas that saw these increases. So, just so you know, if you're still seeing places out there that have only the drive-thru open, chances are the price will be inflated in a place like that per the data. I'm going to break this down further.
All right, so that's the news. All right, of course I don't suggest you to eat things such as Chick-fil-A, these different fast foods, or really just something to throw in your mouth. But you got a lot of these contain a lot of genetically modified ingredients. But apparently, as it says, this outbreak of this pestilence led to higher prices, okay, for fast food. Okay, so the data is here, but the difference can likely be explained in two words: demand and wages. In the post-pandemic era, demand at limited service restaurants has far exceeded demand at full-service restaurants, while the supply of full-service restaurants is constrained because of the limitation due to the seating and the closures of a number of locations. We know about the many businesses that have closed their doors. If you're not, just walk outside and take a walk to your major business and marketplace. Okay, these different shopping malls, or even go downtown, you'll see a lot, or even where a lot of people go to these different eateries. You'll see many of them have shuttered themselves. It says what's left of the business hasn't necessarily been all that eager to take pricing dramatically higher, least they lose customers, right? So what's left of business hasn't necessarily been that eager to dramatically increase it, least they lose customers. Because at the end of the day, our wages are not increasing, okay, for many of us that are currently working. It's everything else is okay, but this is a note. They keeping things more cheaper though, or not eagerly making it dramatically higher. And I'm gonna bring this out in the scriptures in the book of Ezra, which it says about the victuals, the provisions, the food. So good, cheap. Let me see if I can find this scripture. I spelled victuals incorrect. This is all biblical prophecy, but this is Second Ezra chapter 16 and 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. And this is a great example of that too. You know what I mean? Because I know there's some of these different businesses that think, they can still be able to survive. The damage has been done via this this pandemic. Okay, but as you can see, the big contrast between the limited and full service. Full service is it went down, as things from January 2020. Okay, percentage wise, around like a 3.5 I see on this, and then dipping down. Okay, while others have increased, okay, that were limited services. Okay, and then like you say, you have them not increasing. Those businesses that are left, they ain't increasing the prices. That may keep someone to think, hey, yeah, things are going good. Look, I could still go in there and get say these Chick-fil-A people that's getting these chicken sandwiches with waffle fries and a shake, or whatever little drink, soft drink they get, fizzy drink. They think themselves to be in a good case, but as it reads on, and shall continue on, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Okay, these bad times are growing upon the earth. All right, death by the sword, death by famine, and great confusion, perplexity, and bewilderment. And many of these businesses, like I said, they're closing. Okay, and they're, like I said, you thinking just because they're opening, that's a good insight, but it's not. Okay, the scriptures talk about how it shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall cometh upon them, like a woman that travaileth with child. And I definitely feel that spirit out right now, because it seemed, as I seen, I just did a video recently today on Texas, their governor declaring reopening 100%, are really easing back on the whole mask mandates. Okay. I see that as peace and safety, also because a lot of this is, a lot of these different the health officials, they're saying that this man is doing all of this prematurely. Okay. But it says here that also quick service restaurants haven't had that problem, right? Because you just going through there and just grabbing it. They set up for that. Okay. They gotta drive through a lot of these different restaurants. They didn't even have that whole type of setup. And it was a lot of confusion with how to reduce contact with the customer, to reduce the spread. You had these different major our bigger restaurants that don't have drive-through windows, them putting it on a table and such. And them also, like I say, they're more geared towards the place being filled up with people. Okay. And to be able to pay and maintain their staff. A lot of them just had to cut staff. Everything. A lot of them had to make investments. When they did ease in certain states, some of the different, or allow more so, or permit more capacity, or more indoor dining to be reopening. They had to make these different upgrades to be able to, comply by the various government mandates for, operating under this, this pandemic. Okay. Whether it's, separating the tables and various things of that nature. I've seen here in Philadelphia, they got different things with the HVAC system, or, being able to have a certain amount of airflow, something of that nature. You could check, of course, that article to go up to 50%. Philadelphia, I'll just find it. Air. Let me see if I can find it. Or indoor dining or something like that. Yeah, so this is here off of NBC 10. Philly restaurants can fill 50% indoors if they pass an air test. Restaurants will need a system of window fans or HVAC that cycles air in the space of 15 times per hour. All right, they gotta fill out a form and all of that. So, that's something there. I could maybe, Lord will, click this. And it says now if they don't have the HVAC, they can do this by put in fans in their windows.
Now over. Philly restaurants can open for indoor dining to 50% capacity.
And it's just 50% capacity.
But of course, there's a catch.
Yeah, it's always a catch. You know what I mean? And it says yeah, they could put in fans in the windows. We will be giving them guidance on how to do that. You know what I mean? So you gotta go then buy windows if you don't. I mean window fans, etc. If you don't have that, you know, I mean that's more cost, and you already lost a lot of revenue from, when things were shut down and you weren't able to have the indoor dining. So. And they only offering, as you see, a 50% capacity increase. All right, here's, of course, the different requirements here in specifics. For HVAC systems circulating at least 20%, and MERV or MERV 11 or better air filter in the system, an exhaust vent at least 6 feet from tables and chairs. For restaurants using window fans, they will only need to exchange the air 15 times per hour. Restaurants that meet the air standard will be allowed to up their indoor capacity. The city will check those numbers if there's a complaint about the restaurant. So you're subject to that. Let's continue on. Quick service restaurants haven't had a problem. Delivery, drive-through, takeaway, all become vital in the post-pandemic world. I mean, I could tell you this. I'm more discouraged to even deal with people just from how many rules that have been placed on, people. You know what I mean? It made me more reclusive. Not to say that, of course, I'm afraid of catching, of course, or anything. The Lord's dealing, of course, in protecting his elect. All these different rules and stuff, it definitely has messed with the psyche, of many. You know what I mean? Where actually, if you used to be a customer at a business, this whole pandemic has taken a customer that was a frequent goer to the restaurant to then not at all completely going. I mean, reduced it significantly or eliminated it totally. There's many businesses that, like I said, like you have it where, I could speak about, certain businesses that increase their, the amount of, the amount they're charging, as it says, increase food prices from home. Menu prices increased 3.9% over the year. All right, from your 2020 to now. Same rate in December. Highest rate and menu price inflation since 2008, when the country was in a deep recession. That goes to show you, another parallel between the times we were and times we're in now. So I mean, bad times are here. You know what I mean? That was a bad time for the country, but even worse is here. All right, and approaching more. Okay, more and more. They got grocery prices as well. But I'm gonna keep reading this. It says here that the trend to result of higher prices because operators not about losing that business. Because it says felt free to raise prices. Okay, let me read this. Actually, customers lined up blocks for Chick-fil-A in drive-thrus and ordered delivery at 3 times the rate they did in the previous year. Yeah, I've witnessed that myself here in Babylon. That trend tends to result higher prices because the operators are not worried about losing the business. Yeah, people gonna keep coming. Okay, feel free to raise prices, and customers are loaded with cash and not spending it on anything else. It says check out what happened to grocery store prices in depths of the pandemic. Food at home inflation took during the pandemic was double that of what was at restaurants. So you go into, again, you can check out these statistics. Food at home is in the red, and food away from home. So food at home has increased significantly. Look, May 2020 going up in percentages, from, you see these percentages here. Top going at least near like damn near 5.5% or something like that. This source being a U.S. Labor Bureau statistics. All right, compared to food away from home, restaurants, etc. All right, you see that. And I can speak this, especially when I go into grocery stores. I'm not satisfied with what I'm getting. I mean, there's times that I'm coming out with like not even a basket. Just a lot of time, like with me, I'm not willing, so I'm just going with what I can carry in my hand with my book bag, and a lot of times it's just whatever I can carry in my book bag, and it's not that much. You know what I mean? But many fast food operators felt they had little choice but to increase prices because of the other influencer, which is the wage rates. By all accounts, operators at fast food restaurants speak with and describe challenges of getting workers, which had driven up wages. Has the wage rate increases at big retailers like Target, Walmart, and Costco. To match those higher wages, fast food restaurants have raised their prices so to make up for it, so they can get. Let me see. Full service restaurants haven't had problem because much the staff rely on tips. It's also possible that delivery prices are influencing these numbers. Several restaurant chains are either fully implementing or in process implementing premium prices for third-party delivery orders. Noodles & Co. just increased a premium by a third of the prices, which is now 15% higher. Chipotle customer paid 13% higher prices on the base for the third-party delivery. I mean, I'm assuming that's like if you order something, and maybe on these different delivery company like your Grubhub and your Uber Eats and all that and stuff. But I'm just speculating there. Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop, Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, several Wendy's, and all these things, and other fast food chains charge higher prices on third-party delivery orders. Okay, and then it's like it's better just going and save money, go to the store. So then by that time, you like a lot of this whole thing with this pandemic, it had you wanted to stay in the house. So I'm not saying to go get fast food, but just in general, like, have you just staying in, and then you won't go out. So then these people are losing that money. You had, like, I remember I used to spend hundreds of dollars, $100. I could spend, like, I used to spend money easy going out to eat, in the morning, getting breakfast and all that. That has all changed and shift. I cook most of my stuff anyway. But for when I did eat out, I go to these different places. They be like surprised to see me again, and they like, I'll be here. They see my name and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. But they don't understand. We in the truth. But fast food chains are better able to take these steps than full services restaurants. Many are, which are small chains and independent that aren't often allowed to raise prices for third-party delivery. Is they under a damn franchising, possibly. But hey, that's the deal. What we dealing with. Let me see if I got another scripture. Okay, this is gonna be in the book Isaiah 3 and verse 1. All right. Things, of course, happened in the past and will happen again. For behold, Yahweh, or the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, Lord of armies, does take away from Jerusalem and from Jerusalem, from Jerusalem and from Judah, the stay and the staff and the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water. Going to stay in the Hebrew, you got ma sha'ina, which got us towards going to the support of every kind. All right, the Lord gonna get rid of the support. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? You depending on water, bread, you know, and like I say, many people they depending on this government to provide, and you don't understand this government is in shambles and it's gonna fall. All right, Esau, Edom is being made bare, and his kingdom is losing, and that entails with famine, which Yahweh Shai spoke about famine coming, you know, and punishments. Okay, you know, the Lord talk about punishment for those that receive benefits and have not known Him. All right, you'll read that in you know, of course Yahweh Shai come in the volume of the book. So it's written all, of course, Yahweh Bashem El Shai. But yeah, I believe that's specifically in Ezra, though. I had quoted. But it says here, Matthew 24:7, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against king, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." And you know, famine goes into a scarcity of food. You know, and the food that you do get, like I say, you know, the prices just continue to increase. And soon, you know, people are not gonna be able to afford these things. All right. And that's why you go into seeing these different big food banks, you know, these being overwhelmed because you know, things are really going down, and this pandemic only showed, you know, how broke the people really are, you know. And I've even heard people say, like, yeah, put everybody on kind of like on an even playing field. I seen that even at my job, seeing people that work white collar now having to do blue collar work. You know, because the white collar thing being deemed, not essential or not even needed, and then people having to just, you know, work. I literally worked in a food bank. All right, you know, major here. But you know, that's it. So, you know, just giving, of course, a heads up, you know. Not only just this fast food prices have soared, but also the grocery, you know, increased. And you have the statistics right there. You can read it, of course, and check it out for yourself. So just giving, of course, that warning to, of course, the elect of the nation of Israel, because 2/3 ain't going to listen. So just, you know, do what you can. All right, so shalom to the elect. And, of course, the Lord going to provide for his. All right, he delivereth us from, you know, various forms of famine and such. You know, and his servants gonna eat, you know, in the times, you know, of famine. You know, talk about how we gonna have, of course, abundance. How righteous I be among the number of the elect. You know, and I pray, of course, to do so. And we, you know, we go to these various trials. You know, Esau cutting our pages. You know, and you know, personal attacks. You know, of course, from these demons. You know, but the Lord, you know, He's with us. All right. You gotta continue to just keep fighting. But this is Psalms 37:19, and it says, and this is referring to those that are upright, the elect. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. Okay, which you're going into full. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, when you go to Shabbai, it goes into full. Okay, to be fulfilled, to be sated with food. All right, let me see that term for sated, which is to satisfy. All right, enrich. Okay, so the Lord is gonna fill us, and also you see full. All right, so don't, of course, worry. The Lord already gave account, and faith, and for us. So look at the generations of old. The Lord, He ain't forsake His elect. He gonna avenge ours elect. So, giving all praise and honor, glory to Yahweh, Shem Shai, Shem Kodash, and double honor to the apostles, elders, great millstone, peace and salutation to the elect. And shalom. Until next time.